Good morning, viewers at home. My name is Daniel Pudihadi. We are very excited to be back today after a long time. So today we're going to be sharing with you, as usual, a very important information about dairy farming. You know, we normally capture or talk of different topics on our podcast or on our talk show, but the industries that are still involved in our country are the ones that we put more effort on, because our intention is to grow them and to see them becoming bigger and big. So today we are having a very special guest. I don't want to tell who you are, that it's better that you explain yourself, who you are and your experiences in dairy farming, where you're working, because I can see now you're working for Agribusiness Network as a consultant in dairy farming. How could you describe yourself to someone who doesn't know you?
Good morning, viewers. I'm Benedict Mabena, or Malinga. Mabena is from my mom, Malinga is from my father's side. I'm working in a Gauteng, SA, the Sinec Dairies. I've been working with Sinec Dairies for quite a long time, and it was my pleasure to work in the dairy industry for such a long time like this. And my main occupation there is AI and treating of cattle, checking of sick cows and all that stuff in the dairy on day-to-day routines. So running a dairy, it's not as much as easy as you guys can think when you see milk at home. It's quite challenging. It has got many difficulties along the road. So, but if you do it right, then you can come on the right way. So today I would like to say thanks to Ndate Daniel to have me here, so we can share or talk whatever we can talk about.
Okay, thank you so much, Ndate, to have just described yourself briefly that way. So, Mr. Benedict.
Yes.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about dairy farming in Africa? The reason I'm asking you this is because I know that you have been to Europe with the very issue that we are talking about, dairy. So you are in a position to compare, contrast, of course. So tell me, what are your thoughts about dairy farming in Africa, and if there are any areas of improvements that you think Africa should work on, what are those?
I think I would say in Africa we are a bit low on, especially in the dairy industry. They in New Zealand, they're quite a bit far ahead of us in terms of technology and everything in farming without technology or with technology, because what I've noticed, they do produce more milk than we produce in Africa. So in that case, I think we as Africans, we should adapt their strategies or ways of running things in terms of technology and all the way they run their businesses. That's all.
Okay, maybe for the benefit of our viewers at home, you can just tell us the impact the technology has on dairy farming, because we know that because of the fourth industrial revolution, one of the things may mean that in dairy farming, because of technology, there is an automated feeding. In fact, having those things, the processes that are done in dairy, being automated. So could you please tell me, in dairy farming, what are some of the things that technology can do?
Technology, like I say, in Europe they are more using technology too much, rather as compared to here in Africa, and it's giving them more access and more production, especially in the dairy industry, by using technology stuff. So when we're using technology and machinery, it helps to cut the cost of the labor and it also complies with when it can be specific on feeding issues.
Yes.
It's easier to run the business on the thing. If it's let me put in an example on the mixers. If you mix in your feed, everything is computerized on that feeder mixer. Then you don't have to calculate or do any paperwork. You just throw your feed into the mixer, then it does everything on its own. When it comes to the feeders in the dairy, they pick up the number of the cattle or of a cow, then they know this cow needs to be fed this much, the kgs. And as we know that in dairies, that we don't feed like same kgs per cow. Each and every cow, they must have their equivalent kgs they must get per cow. So we using the technology of the machinery, it will help you guys. It will help us to improve and cut many costs on the labor.
Meaning the issue of technology doesn't necessarily start from the farm. It starts from as far as from the fields. When harvesting, there will be the machines there that are doing the harvesting to be quick and smart and saves on cost in terms of, in the sense that nothing is left at the farm, at the fields, if the machines is being used to harvest.
Yes, because if let's go to the fields, you've got pivots. You can set the pivots to run all day long or at a certain given period. If you can run it on in 2-hour period, it can run for that period, then it stops.
Okay.
As compared if you can put many people in the fields to do the irrigation, it's going to cost you on labor and all those many stuffs. So by using many equipments on technology, pivots, you can run it all day or every day, whatever you can set it on through. And it will help you as well to do the right measurements of the water, because if you can ask someone to go and irrigate in the fields with a hose pipe, it's going to take a whole long day. With a pivot, you set the measurements of the volume of the water, pressure and everything.
Oh yeah.
It makes job easy.
Okay. Many people believe that dairy farming is capital intensive. Maybe that's the reason why it is successful in Europe than in Africa. Because in Africa you find that people just keep few cows, say maybe three milking cows, 2 milking cows, which doesn't even translate into making any business sense. You understand? Because it can't pay a person looking after those cows. They can't feed themselves those very cows. So, what is your opinion on that? Is there a shortcut to farming into dairy, or indeed it is capital intensive? People must prepare their minds that should they need to get into dairy farming, they need to have the financial muscle to do so, because if they're keeping a small number of cows, it cannot be successful.
Let me put it into this way. I think on each and every business, we need capital. Let's not face on the dairy issues only. If you want to start a business, it needs you to have capital. So, but then in the dairy industry, we have got many challenges. I would say it's not that issue you are saying that you must have enough capital to run a dairy. The thing is, if you have a strategy plan and a way forward, in fact a goal in the future that you want to be in this stage, you can manage to go through.
Meaning what you're saying is people can start even with one cow for as long as their goal is to go big, because if they're starting with one cow, they have enough opportunity of learning, so that at least when they get to maybe 30 cows, they at least know all the processes, what it takes to avoid failure maybe of running such a big farms.
It's possible, because I've got a history of one other farmer again there in Gauteng. He started with 15 cattle.
Okay.
Then unfortunately he leased 10 of them. Then after 2 years, he got his kettles back. Then he was running at I think it was 40 kettles. He bought some as well, but he started on 15 kettles. Then today he's successful and well known.
Okay. How critical it is to have skills when farming in dairy? Are the skills that important? Are they that important? If someone doesn't have the skill, can they run this kind of industry?
You can't manage to run a dairy farm if you don't have experience or skills, because it's dairy farming is different from office work. It needs you to put more hands at work, and if you don't have skills, then you are chasing the wind that you're not going to catch. So mostly you have to get skills, experience, and other stuff, so you can be able to face all the challenges along the way in the dairy industry.
So what critical skills that you can say one should at least have before they venture into such an industry?
It depends on which base exactly where you want to go and know exactly which ground are we facing it.
No, what I mean is, suppose someone wants to wake up and rear the milking cows next week or tomorrow. So what skills can you recommend to such a person that, okay, if you want to have the dairy cows tomorrow, make sure you know 1 and 2 and 3, because if you don't have those two, it's going to be almost impossible for you to run that and succeed.
Yeah,
but the understanding is the skills one can have with time. We can start having 2 skills, but with time have more. But the ones that you are saying, these ones are critical. Make sure you don't go into dairy if you don't know them.
Yeah, I would start saying you have to know the first major points are you have to know the breeds you want to work with first, because we've got quite a number of different breeds in the dairy production cows. And you must know which cows are you going to work with, and then which dairy you want to run, TMR or pasture. And also you have to look at the infrastructure of the area or place where you're going to run it, because when I talk about that area or places where you're going to run it, mostly farmers they face stealing of cattle. You might bring your cattle tomorrow, then that place has got many robbery things around the place. So you also have to check all that stuff, and also on the soil textures for you to plant the feed or anything that you will be managed to plant for the cattle.
Okay, based on that, what is the significance of planting when you are running dairy? Can the dairy farm succeed without planting?
I would say, on my own opinion, it will be very much challenging to run a dairy without planting, because it needs you to buy every feed or everything. It drains you from your pocket. So if you plant something in your field, then you will cut the costs for the other feed you were supposed to buy. Then you can plant it for your own.
Okay, when you are addressing the critical skills that a person must have before they get into the dairy farming, you talked of the importance of knowing the breeds that one is going to be dealing with. So tell me, when selecting the breeds, in fact, before you go there, tell me, which breeds are normally reared here in Southern Africa? Most farmers, they do like or suggest Holsteins, and most of them they like Ashires, but there are quite a number of people they like Holstein because they produce more milk and as compared to Ashires. So the JZs are also good on producing, and they're also good in fat and butter, but there are a wide number of people that suggest the Holstein cows. Okay.
which they are good producers as well.
Okay, let's suppose one wants to go for Holstein or Jerseys. What factors should one consider when selecting the dairy cows, the milking cows?
Point number one, you have to know to check on the firmness of the udders. Let me say if they are heifers.
Yes.
You have to check the genetic history of the mother or the father before you go before you proceed with buying of those heifers. Check the history of genetics, and then when you are with those heifers, you can't just point out that one because she's healthy or whatsoever. It starts with the genetics, and then when you are on those cows as well, check how old it is, and the body scoring, and the size of the hoofs, because most of the cows they have problem on hoofs. You might find out they've got long hoofs and stuff. So more likely those cows will give you problems even if they give birth. The cows will also adapt to the same issues from the mother. But it also goes back to the history of the genetic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because if they have hoofs, you're saying they will likely die.
No, they won't die, but as they calve, the infants of those mothers with long hoof problems, they will adapt to the same issue from the mother. So you're gonna end up having the warhead with the abnormal hoofs.
Okay, the same criterion applies also when selecting the GCs. You should consider those if you want selecting the heifers of Holstein. You should consider those.
Yeah.
Okay, meaning people should understand that it's not about how the cow looks like that can determine for you whether it's a good or a bad cow. Its history, its pedigree is the one that counts. Okay, sir. Okay, tell me here. What is the significance of introducing the AI when one is into dairy farming? What good things that AI can do that can be different from a farmer who relies on a bull?
The advantages of doing AI are quite a lot. One, I would say, natural mating with bulls. You might find out maybe you've got a bull that has got some sicknesses. Then it will transfer to the female cows. Then your conceptions will also be low. Whereby when you do AI, everything is well hygienic and you must work in the clean places. And then the second one, when mating with the bull only made few cattle where as compared to when we are doing AI, you are going to do maybe 50 to 60 cattle in a day, whereas the bull can make 60 cows in a day. That will also
you're saying that a bull can mate how many cows a day?
Roughly 10 to 12 cows a day.
But AI?
50 to 60, 70, it depends with the
depends on the number of cows you want to mate and also the number of labor you have.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So were you done explaining the advantages?
No, I was still going.
Okay, we can go.
And then it will also give you enough time to monitor your calving season, rather than to have a random calving season when we are doing natural mating with the bulls. You might find out maybe the bull, you give 10 females, then you mate only 3.
Okay.
Then after a few days, you mate the other ones. Then with the AI, all those 60 you mated the same day, they're probably going to give you calves in the same week.
Which makes it easy to manage.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then much as well, there's this disease they call CA. Normally, there's a cow abortion. If their bull has got CA or a female has got CA, normally your production on livestock will be low. When you do AI, the semen is tested and approved. There's no CA taking place.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Tell me, is AI also beneficial for small-scale farmers, or it can only be used by commercial farmers, people who are keeping a larger, a big number of
Yes.
Yes.
I think AI is more advantageous to upcoming farmers because using of bulls, maybe your bull will be bitten by a snake or it's crippled, then you are stuck. So if you have got your flask and semen, then there's nothing will stop you to make the cows.
Okay, meaning one doesn't, if you are a small scale farmer, you necessarily do not have to get or buy a bull, because bulls are expensive, I believe. You can go up to 100,000, no? So you don't have to stress about getting a bull. You can rather go and buy the semen and inseminate your cows.
Yeah,
that's why it's
way easy and simple. Yeah.
But I understand that if you are depending on AI, sometimes it becomes difficult to identify the cows on heat. But with the bull, with its nature, it can help one to identify. Yes, that's what.
But there are also ways and strategies that are used in the dairy industry to identify cows on heat.
Yes.
There is tail painting. There is bulling beacons and scratchers. So if you can have those, one of the three, it will be easier for you to run the farm and identify the cows on heat.
Can you briefly explain how those three?
The tail paint is you can buy your oil paint and mix it with thinners, so it can be hard and rough to come off. You mix it with thinners, then you paint it on top of the tail of the cow.
Okay.
Then I think it's 15 centimeter or 10. It depends on with the length of the cow's tail. Then that one, it works if the cow is on heat. The cows jump on that cow, then you see with the paint off. It will be completely off. Then you see 100% that cow is standing heat.
Okay.
And then the bulling beacons is sort of like the pitches you stick on the top of the cow's tail. Then it has got glue underneath. It won't come off when the other cows are mounting. Then when that cow is on heat, you will also see, normally they put the red ink in that bulling beacon. If that patch is also completely red, you will see that that cow is also standing heat. And the scratchers, they also, if the cow is on heat, the other cows are mounting on here, they will scratch all that white color on top, then it will be also red or purple, whatever color is on that scratcher. Then you will also see that cow is on standing heat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Many of our farmers have got a problem with their cows falling sick. The normal sickness, or the one which is troubling them the most, being mastitis. Can you shed a light what are the causes of mastitis, and also how best can it be prevented? Then if it has already affected the cows, how can it be managed and be cured if there is a cure?
There are quite many ways of